Hello guys, Phoenix61 here. It is update day in Legends, so first thing you're going to notice when you sign in is the annoying pop-ups that normally come up. I've already gotten rid of those, right? But there is a new calendar event, right? So for the first 3 weeks here. I mean, the reward is just the Commander Geist at the end, right? So it's nothing crazy, like it's nothing big, right? I kind of wish that this was like a little bit better of a reward or whatever, but anyway, so last time around too, it was a commander that you end up eventually being able to buy for Commander XP later anyway. But there is this Greek event or whatever this is called right now, and so there is of course a unique currency to it, and so you're getting 50 of these every day that you sign in and complete the calendar event tasks. And then the first week, it looks like you get 450 of them. So, like, these really do trickle in, and I'll show you in the store what you can buy for them. And then it also looked like you get some through the campaign as well, and then a little bit more if you buy Admiralty backing. So, yeah, then it's kind of, I think the most you could get is, like, if you're free-ish, and that would be even if you're buying the Admiralty backing for the Greek stuff here, was like 6,000 is what I was finding. There's a mission in the like missions tab, but it doesn't reward any of those Greek things, right? So Blue Archive is the other thing, right? And that's of course crazy expensive if you want to buy out the whole package. This is just too much to me. Like, even the $150 of doubloons isn't enough to just straight buy the Blue Archive stuff. So, like, that's just like, I mean, at least make it the 150, right? At least give me that, right? Yeah. And then in the offer section, this is kind of interesting. There are some old Halloween crates you can get, right? But this is like, I wouldn't spend doubloons on these, right? Because they're small chances for like things like camouflages and stuff, right? Like I wouldn't buy these, but yeah. Because like if you really want the ship that's highlighted in there, it's like that's the one that of course has the smallest chance. There is a summer big crate in here this week for global XP, so I call that free-ish, right? And then here is it's called Legendary Birthday, right? So, and then there's the Champions kits, and then here's the stuff you can buy for the special currency here, right? So, Borodino, I won't go into each ship, at least not for these, but Soviet Tier 7 battleship, right? Long reach, superior AP damage, all that fun stuff, right? And then, this is what the Rio de Janeiro. So this is, I guess, this is kind of the unique thing for this this update this time around, right? So this you could get. I think you might be able to get to 5,000 doubloons without of the event currency. Sorry, and then there is a commander here too, so you get the commander and the ship with it. Yeah, so you may be able to reach that threshold, that 5,000, without spending real cash, but I think you might still have to buy Admiralty backing. You might have to buy the campaign there. And then, of course, there's a whole bunch of ships that, have existed for a while here, and they're, 6,500, right? So that, you're definitely going to have to spend some real cash, for sure, buy Admiralty backing, because you'll get a little bit more of those, the Greek, currency thing. Georgia, if you don't have Georgia, Georgia's great. If you're into that sort of play style, right? Like that's one I like. I do a range and accuracy build with that shift, but and I have fun with it. And then Independence, yeah. And then there's a Commander Geist. I'm like, I normally like Commander Geists, but I'd probably buy some of the other things over buying her this time around. You can get crates. Nothing crazy with these crates. They all look like they were, like this was, when the Japanese cruiser line came out, right? Like they're regular Japanese cruiser crates. You do have a small chance for getting a premium one, but otherwise it's unlocking the normal tech tree, line. So if you you don't have, you know, those unlocked, that'd be nice, because then you wouldn't have to spend a bunch of silver. But it's the same thing for these French and German ones, and the others that were in here too, right? The British crates as well, right? And then some camos and other just random stuff. So as always, once the event is coming to an end, make sure you spend those if you have them. Otherwise, they go away. They don't save for next year or anything like that. So yeah, get rid of them. And then Blue Archive, we'll go into. I'll show the chances for what drops for the crates here, but we'll kind of just really touch base on these commanders and ships. There is a Blue Archive variant of Montana and Tirpitz. You can buy these bundles that include the like sort of paired commander that you would normally, you know, bring with, right? This Takahashi is just the camo, so I probably won't go for that. I do have like the nicer Takahashi camo, like from the missions from when that ship came out, so it's kind of like annoyed that, like, I mean, it looks cool, like I like these, you know, these skins, these camos, like they look fun, but yeah. Then yeah, here Tirpitz, you can buy just the ship, 17,500 doubloons. Like it's always it's always such a stretch for me. And then yeah, here's the Takahashi skin. Like I was like frustrated that this is like a paid one. I have the cool camo that came with, well, didn't come with, but there was like a mission to do it, right? Like, and so I got the tier 8 camo for Takahashi, right? And so it's like, I'm tempted to not buy this new one because, yeah, right? But here we'll go through the individual things for this bundle, right? So the ship, this does have a slightly different enhanced targeting consumable. I can't off the top of my head remember what the normal stats are for a 1, but I don't know why there's a different, right? Like there's things like sonar and radar and stuff that have slightly different stats depending on the ship. I don't know why, you know, they don't have different numbers for those, but yeah, here we'll just go through. So if you're interested in any of these stats, just, you know, go back and pause it on them, right? Because otherwise I'll never get through this video today for this update. BA Montana, it's the same thing, like it's just slightly modified stats. I think maybe the reload's a little better and the range is a little worse on the main guns. You know, it's stuff like that where it's just like, my personal thoughts and feelings are it's not worth forking out a lot of doubloons to get any, like, you know, to buy either of those, really. Commanders, I think, are a different story. I think sometimes I look through commanders and I'll like pick one, right, for, you know, and buy that one. But so this is the one that you're supposed to match up with the Tirpitz, right? So this is a cool base trait, secondary battery reload time and damage against battleships, which, you know, there's lots of battleships out in the field these days, right? And they have the most hit points, right? They have the biggest health pools. And so this is where this starts getting unique here. Highly educated crew. Secondary gun range. So this is a slightly better range than what Porcupine offers you, but it takes away any of the accuracy buffs that Porcupine would give you, right? So I'm imagining a flew of just bullets flying everywhere and not getting hits, but but it is kind of where the secondary targeting perks come in, right? Because there's some other perks here that I think you can kind of pair with that, right? But yeah, so, and you do get an extra damage control party here, which is like, you know, so if you're pairing it with that line of ships that needs the damage control parties, right? Like, you know, that's fine, right? On second thought, we kind of, you know, that's common battleship perk, right? And then punishment time is the one that's very unique to her. You get an extra secondary targeting charge here, and then it also buffs the cooldown speed for you know, the charges, right? So, and then you could go properly meticulous to kind of help out. You know, I know a lot of people kind of go with the defensive perk that's right next to it here, right? But you know, you could pick this just because, you know, it'd be helping make up for the downfalls of, you know, the other if you didn't pick Porcupine, you know. But yeah, so Master Mechanic gives you the extra repair party charges, so that's always tempting, right? Up to 2 more. So yeah, it's a you do you situation. But then here's where it gets interesting again, is this secondary interest perk for the legendary perk, right? So enhanced secondary targeting cooldown time, great, and then another charge, up to 2 more charges. So if you could get up to +3 secondary targeting charges, right, depending on what you pick throughout this, her build, and then you get while that is running, you get better dispersion, better reload time, and better main battery reload time as well. So this is quite interesting. This is a tempting one to, if I were picking one, right, like that'd be a tempting one to get, right? This one, she is going to pair with the Japanese cruisers, probably the newer line that has the like the super torpedo range, right? And it's just more of a defensive type build with this, right? So I'm seeing more sort of defensive type perks in here. I don't know that I would get this one. I kind of like my Takahashi, like, right? I like how I'm playing with those, right? So I could very easily pass up on this commander if need be, right? Nothing too crazy. I think the unique perk here is this one here, the Scholastic Support, which is going to help you with Citadel damage and repairing, right? So I think that's great. Like that's like plus 30% up to, once you get her leveled up. Then of course you get fully packed, and then you do get the killing distance perk here, right? So that's the that was kind of a newish one with the new Japanese cruiser line that came out, somewhat recently, and the commander that came with those. So you can get this from buying said commander in the store. That's a normal commander for Commander XP, right? So that's not crazy special there. And then this one is going to be your battleship, American battleship commander, right? So this is what you would put on the new Montana if you were going that route. Main battery reload time and survivability and rudder shift time, like fine, like every, a little bit of buff to a little bit of everything, right? It's always nice. And then, yeah, reload time on secondary battery and torpedoes, per HP lost. I mean, I don't know if I'm a fan of that or not, right? Then on second thought, if you're going for a reload build, otherwise Megalomania, right? And then her unique perk is, you can get Master Mechanic too, but her unique perk is going to be this Foreclosure Task Force President. Incoming shells, torpedoes, and bombs to your battleship per 1% HP loss, so damage reduction buff, right? Whatever you want to call it. You get it fully packed if you want to go fully packed on a battleship commander. It's there, running with scissors, and then will to rebuild, of course. Of course. I mean, not every battleship commander has will to rebuild, but this one's also interesting. This one would be another tempting one, because this is a British destroyer, right, commander, but you get this base trait is tempting, right? So destroyer gun traverse speed and destroyer main battery reload time as a base trait, right? So you could put that on other commanders as inspiration. So that's kind of why I'm feeling like this one's a little tempting. And then, yeah, these first couple rows are kind of just some typical destroyer perks, right? You do you, pick what you want, right? I'd probably go torpedo launcher, right? Whatever. See detectability range, gun traverse speed, perceptive, right? So, and then this aerial fire support is going to be unique for her. Destroyer main battery reload time while detected by a ship, so up to 8% there. That's kind of interesting. I mean, a lot of times you're trying to sit and smoke, but your British destroyers don't have very long smoke screen, right? So like it's probably going to be pretty common that you're going to be detected by another ship, right? So it's kind of interesting. And then number of AA explosions, I'm not exactly sure what that means, but up to 2 more. I'm just going to guess it's a buff to AA, right? Maybe your flak or something, right? So And then, yeah, you get pretty typical choices for legendary perks. I'm always a huge fan of Unstoppable, right? So, and then last but not least for Blue Archive Commanders, this little lady here is for, you know, you're probably going to want to pair this with French cruisers. I do, the main base trade is interesting, right? And then you get beyond range, and, you know, kind of your typical choices here, right? Pause if you need to, and then yeah, focus fire is going to be, I think this is the one that's going to be unique to her. Cruiser main battery shell dispersion while your main battery reload booster is active, plus you get an extra main battery reload booster charge, right? So there are some of those French cruisers that have the reload booster, so this would be really, really good commander to pair with those if you're a fan of using those reload boosters, which if you're using this commander, you probably should, right? Otherwise you're it's kind of a wasted, right, build thing, whatever. Then fully packed gives you an extra consumable charge as well, so like if you're using fully packed plus that, you know, the reload booster perk, then you're getting 2 extra reload booster charges, right? So that's kind of that'd be the way that I personally would go, but you know, you do you, right? Oh man, what else is in here? Okay, yeah, so we gotta go through crates. Yeah, so there, I did see a Blue Archive crate in the campaign, but it's literally 1, right? so get through the campaign, right? Get through the campaign before you start making purchases, right? Just you know, if you have like one particular thing, right? But these are pretty decent chances. I mean, 10% for commanders, that was typical. I think that's kind of a normal thing now, because that's what it was for the previous Star Trek commander or collaboration, right? You can get the Takahashi skin, 10% chance there. So I don't know, maybe I'll buy some crates and just see what I get. I don't know. And then Tirpitz is a 4% chance, and Montana is a 1% chance. So if you're really, really interested in the Montana, which I personally would not be, because it's not that much different than the normal Montana, right? It might be worth more to just buy it out, buy the Montana by itself and or the commander if that's what you're going for. But yeah, getting it to drop from crates is going to be slim pickings there, right? So they do have the guaranteed reward system kind of built in, but it's just a little crazy. You got to buy 50 crates to get to make sure you get Montana, right? Champions box, so there's a bunch of these that you can get along doing missions or campaign or whatever else was out there, right? And it's really just crates. So it's a crate that drops crates, right? So it's a crate that's going to drop crates that have previously been crates, right? So, I mean, that's kind of interesting, right? So some of the Santa crates, level 3 Santa crates were always kind of nice because those also had a chance to drop higher level Santa crates, and then those had chances to drop some pretty decent stuff too. And then, yeah, these crates, these other like regular ship crates, these give you a chance to drop the normal tech tree ships, right? And then they have a small chance of giving you a premium one. So I wouldn't use your the event currency to get these, you know, because I mean, if that's all you got left to get, do it. But yeah, they're really just, you know, a chance to get, you know, Tula. Like that's, you know, these are normal line ships that you unlock with silver, right? So yeah. And then we'll go take a peek at the campaign and the campaign ship. Yeah, so some of the Admiralty rewards, if you buy the Admiralty backing, yeah, so there's a bunch of these crates in here as well, and then you can see another 4,500 of the, so this is it. This is what you get with the free campaign, plus if you had bought Admiralty backing, right? So the drachmas, I am sure I'm saying that wrong for what that currency is called. So yeah, this is the Greek event currency, right? Then just, yeah, other very typical things that you would get for doing the campaign. And then, yes, there is a single Blue Archive crate in the campaign as well. I was just kind of curious, like, what level you have to get to on the campaign. But so we'll just quick scroll through. I mean, these are, like, decent rewards for even if you don't have the Admiralty backing. I will probably get this one. I like destroyers. Yeah, so here's like 300 of the event currency, and then you get another, what was it, 400 or 500 for having Admiralty backing. So, yeah. Where is the blue archive crate? All right, you got to get a pretty good ways through here, guys. Yeah, and then yep. So it is, the blue archive crate is on the free, right? So, but you do have to get to level 91 in the campaign here to get the blue archive crate. And then yeah, tier 8 destroyer. I always kind of am like on the fence of which premium tier 8s I like to play as. So for premium supplies missions. So I don't know. Maybe we'll get this. The camo on it looks cool. I'll show the camo at the end here, but. Yeah, what this is, what Pan-European classed or whatever, yeah, so, looks like decent guns, and it looks like some pretty, you only get one torpedo launcher. It's going to be the downfall there, but they are nice long-range torpedoes, and it shoots 5, right, and then the reload's pretty good on it, too, so, yeah, I don't know, I think that'll be fun. We'll have to see. I may be more interested in the other rewards that you get for the campaign for having Admiralty backing, but yeah, reloader, above average main battery reload speed, fast, and extended smoke. Okay, I can get on board with this. So yeah, if we get it, we will play it, right? And we will do a video on it. And then yeah, here is the camo. It does look like you get that with it, right? So you don't have to spend another 5,000 doubloons to get the unique camo for it. So that's kind of nice. So I don't know if you want to call that free-ish or what, but there it is. Yeah, we're gonna end the video there for today, just because that's kind of, just wanted to try and cover everything that was showing up in the store and what was new for the update. As quickly as I could, right? So thank you guys so much for watching. Make sure you are following the channel. I really do appreciate those of you that follow me, yeah, and we'll see you next time.